Okay, so today we are going to continue with the Getting Started module on Buzz / Florida Virtual. As you saw yesterday, this is the screen that you are going to see. We talked a little bit about navigation yesterday. So up here, once you have your own account, you will be able to see your picture if you decide to upload a picture. This will be your name up here in the right-hand corner. Over here, remember, it will say 8th grade math. And then depending on what module you are in, it's going to say something different depending on what the module is. Down here, you can go to previous activity. You can also go to next activity. So we've already gone through things to know. We have already gone through navigation, and then we also talked about lessons and assessments. So I'm going to go back to lessons and assessments. Now, as you can see up here, this was one of the last things that we talked about yesterday. So the 0, 0 stands for the fact that this is the 0 module. This is the very starting module. And then 03 is going to mean lesson 3. So lesson 3 was lessons and assessments. So if we scroll down to the bottom, this is what we talked about yesterday. At the end of each lesson, you're going to see an assignment or an exam. And a lot of you did a really good job with that form in answering this question. So we can now see our tools again. We have our menu, our notes, our glossary. Remember, you can click on that to find definitions of the words that you might need to know. The print tool is kind of cool because if you do need to print your entire lesson, you can. The tools button, remember, you can download some graphing paper or you can download number lines if you would like to use those. And then videos, remember, are going to give you videos that could be helpful to you. So you can see there's fractions in the real world, positive and negative numbers. So if I do need help with something and it's just not in the lesson that I can see, then I could always click on this video and I could get some additional help with positive and negative numbers. So you can see that there are a lot of different videos available for you. Remember, these are going to be 7th grade videos, so you'll see 8th grade videos that pertain to what we are learning about. Okay, up here, you can see we are making our way through. We didn't quite finish the last lesson. We are on lesson 3, so you can kind of tell we did finish these. That's why they are green. And then it's showing that we're about 20% done with the module. Okay, so for course specifics, it says what you need to know. So there's different icons that you are going to see. If you see this icon that looks like a pencil, it's called Stretch Your Mind. It says this box provides some problems to check your understanding of the lesson up to that point. If you see this cone, this is caution. It says pay close attention to the tips in the caution boxes because they will help you avoid making mistakes. If you see the little push pin, this one is remember. This icon alerts you to an important idea that you should add to your notes for the lesson. The little notepad is note. This icon points out key information that you could include or should include in your notes. The clipboard, these are the objectives. So these are the learning goals for each lesson, and they are listed at the beginning so that you know what you need to know. The A with a plus sign is additional practice. So this icon links to extra problems that will help you to check your skills before moving to an assessment. This stack of papers is going to be the assessment. It says this icon points out exactly what you need to complete or submit for the graded portion of each lesson. If you see this life preserver, this means help. The help box provides review material or explanations to help you avoid getting stuck on a challenging lesson. If you see the flag, this is a rule. So it says this box contains an important rule. You also want to include rules in your notes. If you see this beaker, it stands for formulas. The formula box provides formulas that you will need for a lesson. You also want to write these in your notes. And finally, if you see the compass, that stands for exploration. And it says this icon highlights extra information. Okay, so there are different types of assessments. There will be multiple choice exams. So with multiple choice exams, you will choose one correct answer from the options given. To be successful, make sure that you read each selection carefully before answering. You will be asked to choose the option that best answers the question or fits the statement. So think critically about your choices for each problem. There are also fill-in-the-blank exams. Occasionally, assessments and interactive activities will require you to type your answer onto a blank line. With these types of activities, read the directions above the problem carefully for information about how to enter decimals, negatives, or zeros before a decimal point. Essay/short answer responses. Some questions require you to write a short answer. To be successful, be sure to write a thorough response using complete sentences. Even though this is a math course, you will be writing different types of essays. Essays in this course are problems you work out by showing your work, then discussing your answer. When answering a short response or essay question, there are several shortcuts you can use on your keyboard to type in the math symbols. Some examples are shown here. Okay, so you can see if I want to type in an exponent. So for example, the exponent x squared, there is a caret key on your keyboard, which is located above the number 6. So if you locate that, you would type in the letter X. You would click on Shift and click on the caret or number 6 key, and then you would type the number 2. Okay, remember, if you do need to reference this, this will be in our Getting Started module when you actually get logged in. Okay, there are also a couple more types of assessments. So you might have a project. It says there are several projects in each segment of this course. Each project has multiple parts and requires research. All the parts must be submitted as an attachment to your instructor. You may need to be able to scan your documents and email them, attach your documents as files to an email and send them, or take a photo that you can email to your instructor. If you are unsure about how to submit your work when you reach your first project, contact your instructor for guidance. You have the option to complete projects on your own or collaboratively with a partner. Be sure to review the rubric, which is a chart that indicates how you are graded on the project for each project before submitting your work to understand the expectations for the project. Collaboration requirement. Being able to work with others is an important skill. To practice this skill online, you are required to complete one collaboration activity per segment. You get to choose from several projects that have the option of being completed individually or collaboratively. Select the button below to learn more about collaboration. Finally, There are going to be discussion-based assessments. Discussion-based assessments are conducted routinely between the instructor and the student. These must be completed free of any distraction or influence from others. This is also a time to ask your instructor questions. Okay. Grit. Grit can help make you successful in school and in life. But what is it, and do you have it? Grit means you have persistence and can keep going without getting distracted. It also means you have resilience and can bounce back after you make a mistake. In this video, you'll see how a little grit can help you do things that once seemed impossible.
This is a story about grit and why it might just be the key to your success. So what the heck is grit? Well, officially, it's the combination of persistence and resilience. Big words. Persistence means you keep going, even when the going gets tough, and you stay focused on the task without getting distracted. Resilience is toughness. When you get knocked down, you bounce back up and try again. When you have both of these qualities, we call that grit. And once you have grit, you can learn anything. But why is grit so important to learn? Because when things are easy and you're coasting along, it's nice. It might even be fun for a while, but you're not learning. Learning comes from struggle, from trying and failing, then learning from your mistakes. Remember when you first learned to ride a bike, or swim, or play an instrument, or do long division? It seems impossible at first, and if you gave up after the first try, it would be, but you're persistent. You keep trying. You start to get the hang of it. You practice, you work at it a little bit at a time, and eventually it starts to get easier for you. You learn from your mistakes, and the more you work, the easier it gets. But learning is hard work. That's why you need grit. Because the key to success in school and life is how you react when things don't go your way. So the next time you're struggling with something in your life, or in your science book, just remember, it's part of learning. And with a little hard work and a lot of grit, you can do things that once seemed impossible.